Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for today's quick tutorial on Perception Neuron and FaceRig. We'll give a few more seconds or minutes for a couple of our users to join in so that we can all get started together. If you have a chance to email us after the video, send us an email so that we can answer any questions you have after this recording. We're going to keep this recording online so that everyone can use this as reference. We'll give a bit more information in depth of how to set it up on the configuration side for both USB and Wi-Fi. So let's give it a few more minutes for people to show up. And thank you everyone again who's joining us today and who has followed us through all the media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on our newsletter as well. Make sure you're signed up so that you're up to date with all our news, updates on software, releases, events, up and coming events, so that everyone is in the same loop. So let's give it a few more seconds for people to join in. And I'm here also watching any questions that come up during the chat as well. If I don't catch up to the questions, I will wait for them to come through after the video. All right, so let's give it a few more minutes for everyone to join us today. Today's video is going to be very helpful for a lot of our users that are going to be using Perception Neuron, or they want to use Perception Neuron as a performance capture. Whether you're going to be sending this out to YouTube video, to your own, export as your own video, for your personal use. You can use FaceRig for Skype integration and also any other chat software like Hangouts, Google Hangouts, for example. It's one of those amazing things that you can do nowadays. If you want to use an avatar, a full avatar for chatting, you can go ahead and do so with the help of FaceRig as well. FaceRig is very flexible, that you can use the software for not only recording, but also you can export the data to FBX or BVH for a third-party software. So let's wait another couple of seconds. So we have one person joining us today, so we're going to go ahead and get started so that we don't add too much time to this video. So let's go ahead and jump into my slides that I prepared for our viewers out there. Okay, so just a quick, really quick, if at any point you have any questions we're unable to answer during this video, please make sure you email us at contact@neuronmocap.com. That is the quickest and the fastest form of communication for us, so that we can get back to you anything you send us from there. We have also a help center. I want everyone to definitely take advantage of that information that we have. Make sure you visit support.neuronmocap.com, where we have getting started with Perception Neuron. We have user guides. We have information on any questions regarding online store, FAQ, and troubleshooting as well. Okay, so today's topic is going to be about Perception Neuron and FaceRig. So again, this is for performance capture solution for those who want to also add not only have a Perception Neuron to capture full body, but also to add face capturing solution. So this is one of the solutions that we're very happy to provide for our users out there, and we want to introduce to them how to deal with the configuration. If some details are not talked over in this video, check out our support.neuronmocap.com. We'll have more in details of little details on how to set up through Access Neuron and FaceRig as well. So on our neuronmocap.com website, we have available intro bundle, which includes, the intro bundle is Perception Neuron 32 version 2 plus the FaceRig software. That includes Perception Neuron 32 version 2 kit and also one license of FaceRig Studio Personal. We have an introductory price available at the moment for those who are just want to get started right away, and this is the first time in this workflow. We have a special price for you. Also, we have an add-on That's available for those who want to integrate another wireless integration with the whole solution so that you're not tethered to the computer. Those are for those users who want to use it more advanced level. That is the FaceRig camera kit. Even though I say it's advanced level, don't shy away from it. It's very easy to set up. I will show you in a little bit. That includes the RunCam 2 camera. That's an action camera that we can use with the whole solution. And we also include one neck brace bracket for the camera mount. And that also includes the camera mount as well, so that you have the whole entire solution included there. So today's equipment I'm going to be using is a USB webcam. I'm going to be using a Logitech 1080p USB. That's very easy to obtain online, very affordable. Webcam is actually really well. One of my favorite webcams out there. We're going to be using also a portable Wi-Fi router instead of a traditional AC adapter Wi-Fi camera. So we're going to be using Elecon wireless WRH. I'll put these details online as well so that you know what hardware I'm using for this scenario. And I'm also going to be using a USB Wi-Fi adapter. I'll give you more information on why I'm using a USB Wi-Fi adapter. That's going to be a Linksys WUSB 6300. I'll be using a wireless camera of a RunCam 2. I'll show you how to set that one up as well. And I'm also going to be using, for today's video, I'm going to be using Perception 32 sensor version 2. Although I'm going to be showing the version 2, you can also still use this for version 1. So those users who already have a Perception kit from the first iteration, you can still use this integration as well. So don't shy away from that. Okay. So the next slide. So the first portion of the video, it's going to be talking about performance capture using tethered communication. I'm going to be, we can do wireless MOCAP and we can do tethered MOCAP, and then most importantly, we're going to be using a tethered webcam. For those users who just purchase a PN32 kit and only purchase the FaceRig software, you can use a webcam, tethered webcam as well. Of course, you would need the neck brace, which we also have available on our store. So there's that option as well. So I'll go over how to use that. Again, I'm going to be using Logitech HD 1080p. That's what I have here. And for the second half of the tutorial, I'm going to be talking about performance capture with a complete wireless solution. For those of you who buy the Perception 32 plus the FaceRig license and the face camera kit, that's the whole solution that we have available for our users. That I'll walk you through how to set that up. And just bear with me, just give a few more seconds for people to join us today. Okay, so regarding the full wireless integration, this is going to be my setup for today. As soon as we're done, I took a quick image so that you see what I'm basically setting up. For the full wireless integration, you can see on the top there, that is my USB router that's being powered through my computer, and I'm also using an Ethernet cable, that's reading the LAN information. That's going to be receiving data from my Perception suit. And you see here at the bottom, there's a Linksys USB Wi-Fi adapter. That's going to be for my RunCam camera. Okay, so that's everything in a nutshell there. So this is what the FaceRig camera kit looks like. This is what we have on our store. This includes the neck brace, includes the camera brackets, and it also includes the RunCam 2. Okay, so that's there for you guys for reference. And just kind of go through the whole setup in that. The setup, it's a little bit more in depth than typical tethered communication, and this is the setup that we're going for. Like I mentioned before, the router is going to be used to receive the data from Perception Neuron kit, and then the Wi-Fi adapter is going to be to receive the data from the run cam too. So this is the easiest way to make sense of it. That's for everyone to understand how the setup is. Don't shy away from it again. It's just a very simple setup. It's just a little process, step by step, how to set up. Okay. So here in this slide here, I have a few important information that you need in order to set up your run cam. When we're setting the run cam Wi-Fi, the password for the run cam is very simple. It's 12345678990. Fairly simple, but this is only going to be used for for wireless camera support. And then the run cam IP cam access. Once that is connected, it's this very long URL here that we have set up, and I'll give you more information how to set that up inside of FaceRig and all. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and open up Access Neuron, and I want to show you what I'm going to do as far as setting up Access Neuron inside of to set up Access Neuron for FaceRig. The first part of this tutorial, I'm going to be doing USB connection, which is the most easiest one, and I'm going to be using a Logitech camera. So let's go ahead and jump into Access Neuron. This is Access Neuron right now, and I basically I'm just going to go into File, go to Settings, and the one thing you need to pay attention to is you need to go to Broadcasting, select TCP connection, enable the BVH connection, and set the port to 7001. Now this is information that's set by default. If you make changes to this information here, you have to make sure that this changes also reflect on FaceRig's setup as well. But for this video, we're going to be leaving everything as default. This is the default connection. Once this is set up, this is the most important portion so that the data can be transferred for real time to a third-party software, in this case, FaceRig. So I'll go ahead and press OK. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to basically just check and make sure everything's working good. Right now I'm using a USB cable, and I'm going to connect my Perception on kits just to make sure everything's working good. I'll wait for that little audible sound, hit connect, and there you go. I click on connect. Just give it a few seconds to make sure. And notice I'm not using any gloves right now at the moment. You can see right now I have not done any calibration, and there's no arm movement at the moment, so I kind of look like I'm doing some acrobatics here. So everything's looking good so far. I've already tested the gloves. And then let me go ahead and disconnect. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up FaceRig. Okay. Inside of FaceRig here, I've already set it up open. You can see right now FaceRig is reading my webcam on my laptop. But I want to change that. I want to go ahead and change it to the Logitech camera. So I have a Logitech camera already here. So let me go ahead and grab that. And you can see I already installed it on the onto the neck brace. And just make sure I have enough slack here. And I'm just going to connect this into my USB port. Make sure that's nice and seated. And that's looking good. I've already placed the webcam ahead of time, so we can save time on doing that. So inside of the FaceRig UI, you're going to see the top portion here. This is the basic features to set up FaceRig. And what we're looking at, we want to go to the Advanced UI, and I want to select the Advanced Tracking Configuration. And you'll see a couple of drop-down menus here. By default, sometimes you might see you'll see Perception on here, a couple of the options to select for capturing. We'll go ahead and we'll set that up in a little bit, but for now, since we're setting up the webcam, I want to make sure I select webcam is selected here as an option. I select the HD Pro webcam, and you can see here I'm getting some data from the webcam, so that's good to go. And let's go ahead and place this guy on me so you guys can see how it looks like. So here I am. This is me. And it's pretty easy. It feels very comfortable. It doesn't feel very heavy to place on you. So I can do performance. I can do capturing on a face already on the go with a USB cable. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to, I already have the webcam set up. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start using my Perception Neuron suit. By doing so, I will put my gloves on. Make sure these gloves are nice and fitted. I've already put these gloves on and set them up properly so that they're all in the correct location. I'm going to connect my prop tool cable. I can see the lights are breathing, meaning that everything's ready to go. And just let me know if you guys can hear me. I know right now my microphone is a little bit in the way from the neck brace here. So just let me know if you guys can't hear me. Okay. So I connected the gloves. I have all the sensors breathing right now. I'm just inspecting, make sure everything's good to go. And so I'm going to jump into Axis Neuron. Go to connect. There's my hub. Give it a few seconds to connect. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. Okay. All right. Let's make sure we refresh the connection here. And let's wait for the little beep. Hit connect. Okay, so we have the connection there. Oh, I see I got a little misconnection here on the hands here. Just bear with me. All right. There we go. And let's refresh that connection. All right, so let's make sure everything's working good here. Let's make sure making sure everything's comfortably fit here. Let's make sure I'm a little bit, just making sure everything's looking good. Just disconnect, reconnect. And let me make sure you guys can see me here on camera. All right, so there we go. All the connections are working. Movement is looking good. I've already done the calibration, but if I did the calibration one more time, I will select my body size. And then I'll go ahead and do the calibration. I'll do the steady pose, A, TNS pose, but just so that we can go ahead and move on to the good parts of the video here. So far everything's working good. I already did the calibration, so it's looking good. And then I'll go into FaceRig, and I'll add the Perception Neuron connection on the top here of the trackers. Click on Add. Just bear with me 1 second here. Just 1 second here. Just had a little. I'm running this from my laptop here. It's a little bit heavy on data. Just bear with me. Okay. There it is. All right, so let's go back into here and make sure the webcam I'm using is my webcam here. There I am again. Let's make sure that Perception Neuron is added here at the bottom. So Perception Neuron is added there at the bottom. And the first thing I wanted to do is I want to tell the You'll See integration, which is the face capturing software inside of FaceRig. I want to make sure that I disable the head movement, disable the upper body movement, That's looking good so far. I will enable the front face mode because I'm using a camera that's it's configured to my face. It's not a webcam that's on a laptop or something. I would enable the head movement, enable the upper body movement for the perception neuron because that's where I want the data to come from. And then I want to confirm that I have the TCP enabled. I have the local IP of 127.0.0.1. And I have the BVH port of 7001, which is the one that we already set up. So everything's looking good. It's already automatically connected. By default, I can disconnect and reconnect if I want to, but it looks like it's already connected. And then you'll see here that, again, this is me doing live motion. I'll jump into FaceRig. And let me make sure I zoom out. So this is me here with the character that we have from FaceRig. You can see that the setup is live. I'm tethered from perception neuron, and I'm also tethered through to the camera as well. So this is awesome. This is great if you want to do simple. Just one location capturing, so that's one great way to do so. Everything is looking great. So you can see here that obviously the lighting is not that great, but just for the example, you can see that FaceRig is tracking my face pretty well. It's doing actually excellent. It's getting the whole face capturing, and it's also capturing the characters, my fingers as well, and it's translating that data into the 3D character. So that's something that's great for a lot of performance capture. And then one of the things that you might have to do, since we all obviously we come in different shapes and sizes, we'll have to calibrate the face. So the face, the first thing you want to do just to confirm everything's working good, just calibrate the face, the head pose. Okay. The next thing you want to do is calibrate the face. So when you're doing the face calibration, the expression, you want to do neutral pose. So I'm looking straight at the camera, just doing a neutral pose. Okay. And there we go. It's capturing live for me, and you can see here that it's also doing my hands motion as well. This is straightforward. It's very, very, very nice to have for a lot of our users out there. So it's doing the whole entire capturing for me. That's the quickest way to do the FaceRig integration for with perception neuron working hand in hand. So that's the quickest way to do so. So let's go ahead and jump into doing the capturing for wireless. So next thing I'm going to do, I will disconnect the BVH while that's set up. Okay. Let's leave this all default. Okay. So that's me with perception neuron. We'll disconnect from my suit, okay? And I'm going to put this down so that we can move on to the wireless connection. I will disconnect the USB from the computer that has the webcam, and just bear with me as I do this. Again, this is something that we're doing two different configurations here so that we can share with our users. And you can see here that this webcam is just sitting on top of a simple camera bracket with a little screw on top so that you can place the camera. So let's set this aside. Let's put this here. And the first thing I want to do, well, not only do I disconnect perception neuron, but I also want I want to remove my gloves since I'm going to be touching a computer. This is all being done on my own. This is so that you guys can see and feel comfortable with doing this as a solo operation, if you will. So let's make sure we remove this, guys. And I just want to do a quick audio check. Everything's good. All right, cool. So just making sure this, 'cause I'm moving the camera rig. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me well. So the first things first, let's grab a chair here so you guys can see me well here. So that's already wrapping up for the USB tethered for both Perception Neuron and the RunCam. So let's go ahead and get started with the wireless integration for both Perception Neuron and the RunCam as well. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using I'll be using a USB router for this example is an Elecom. I'll give you more information on that through the Help Center. And you can see here I have it already pre-connected. I'm not gonna, it's already up and running. And so what I will do, I need to close, I need to do a couple of setups. Basically first, I want to go into my network and internet settings, go to the network sharing center, go to the adapters, and I want to remove the Wi-Fi from my, I want to disable the Wi-Fi from my computer, so I'll go ahead and click disable. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the Ethernet cable that's running from my wireless router. So what I'll do is I'll give it a few more seconds for the computer to get an IP. And let's double check here. It looks like it's okay. It's just telling that there's no network access, which is normal. That's normal because I'm setting up just a LAN connection. So what I will do is I will disconnect Access Neuron because I need to refresh the IP address that my computer just received with Access Neuron. So I will open Access Neuron. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do, while I have my USB cable connected here, I'm going to connect my hub to Access Neuron by itself for now. Click it on the, I'm inputting it on the data port. Wait for that little audible sound. I'll go to the connect option, and you'll see that there's a setup button. Click on the setup button. You can see this is the IP address that we just received from the Elecom wireless router, and everything's looking good so far. Click next, and at the moment it's going to be looking for the available wireless connections. Right now the hub is going through all the SSIDs that are available in the environment. So already has the Elecom router connected. I'm just going to go ahead and connect and put the password so that you guys can see every single step that I'm doing. And the password is a couple of digits here. Okay, so that is the password for this Elecom right here. Just making sure my number is good. So let's go and click apply. And so the next thing I'm going to do, I have a USB portable battery with me. And so that I can test it out, this is an Anker 10,000 milliamp battery. It's pretty lightweight. I have, one end of the USB connected, and I'm going to connect the hub to the other end. And I'm going to connect my battery to the 5 volt 2 amps in. When you do so, the hub is going to be doing a search, and you're going to hear a little audible sound, a little beep, letting you know that it's successfully connected to the router that you set up. In this case, the one that we set up together here. And just to make sure, I haven't connected this to yet. I just want to make sure the hub is working. Connecting is detected by the Access Neuron. And sure enough, there it is. That's my hub. I was just waiting for me to connect. Since I don't have the hardware connected, I'm not going to do so yet, but it's working. So I'll put this aside for now. I don't have to do anything else. My wireless router is ready to go with my Perception Neuron suit. So let me make sure I tuck this in the back so that I can have this ready to go. I'm placing my hub on the belt so I can have this ready once we're ready to do the next step. So wireless is ready. Everything's looking good so far. I don't need my USB cable, so I'm going to disconnect the USB cable that I was using for tethering. I'm going to put that aside. And the next thing I'm going to pull out here is the Linksys USB Wi-Fi adapter. This adapter here, simply just connect it into your USB port, like so. I'm simply going to connect this to my computer. You can hear that my computer's detected a new hardware. Give it a few more seconds for the computer to load the USB adapter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my network sharing internet settings, go to Network and Sharing Center, go to the Change Adapters, and you will see here that now I have a Wi-Fi 4 added, and that shows up as my Linksys USB CC300. So that's ready to go, and it's running. Right now it's not connected to anything. So the next thing I need to do is simply just go into the bottom right hand corner here, click on the options. Okay. Just make sure everything's looking good here. All right, so let's click here, connect. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to power up my run cam. Just press the button once on the run cam. You'll hear a little beep. Okay, very low, but you can hear it, a low beep. You're going to see a blinking light on the run cam. That's letting you know that it's starting up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the Wi-Fi button just once. Okay, just wait for a couple of seconds here. And then once you do so, you're going to see a little blinking light at the bottom here. It's fairly a little bit hard to see, but it's there. It's a little blinking blue light letting you know that it's in searching mode. It's waiting for a connection from any source, any camera, from any Android app, or in this case, our USB tethered. So let's go ahead and check our connections here. This is looking good. Disable. And the next thing I'm going to do here is go into the bottom right. This time I have the connection here inside of, I've already had this set up. All I did was connect using the Wi-Fi 4 onto the run cam. I hit connect, and what I did is, if you remember that password that I had shared with you on this layout, this is the password for the run cam. It's 12345678890. So you will input that data into the option here to connect to the run cam 2. So what I'm basically doing is I'm setting up. It's very simple. I'm setting up the connection with the portable wireless router with my perception on, and with the new addition of my USB adapter, Wi-Fi adapter, I'm connecting to the run cam camera. So once that's connected, everything's looking good. I already checked here. It's saying that there's no internet, which is normal. We're not using internet connection, but it's connected. I can disconnect at this point if I wanted to. The next thing I'm going to do is I will open up FaceRig, and you can see right now is that it's tracking my face for the character. And what I'll do is I will change this option from the input type from webcam to IP camera. Okay, so the next thing I will do is copy this link, and again we'll provide this on our help center so you guys have access to that. I paste that, hit connect, and you'll see here that it's now connected to my action camera. So far we're good. The connection's looking good. Everything's looking stable. Next thing I will do is connect, just mount this camera to the face, to the neck brace here. Okay, so that's working good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up my, just start putting on my gloves. So that we can get started. Okay, same thing as before, nothing changed. It's the same thing as we did as a USB tethered version of this setup. While I'm connecting this, I need to make sure that all my connections are nice and pressed. Everything's looking good. I already have my battery pack and located in my pocket. I'm going to connect my USB cable onto the 5V 2 amps slot. Just make sure the USB portable battery pack is powered on. I hear that little audible sound, little beep, meaning that there's a connection to Access Neuron. I'll go into Access Neuron, click on Connect. All right, so everything's looking good. Let me just stand up, make sure that I'm calibrated correctly. I will go ahead and do, I'm going to select so that we can go through the whole process. I will select my body size, do the calibration. I'll do all 4 steps. Okay, so I moved a little bit. Let me just try it one more time. You have to make sure you're completely still during this process. A pose. T pose. S pose. Okay, so I'm making sure everything's looking good. One way I can tell my capturing is working good is that if I crouch, my knees are not doing anything, nothing crazy out of this world. If you're bending down and your knees are like going like this, like that, or something that inside of the avatar, but you're not doing it, I would suggest to calibrate in some other location. But right now, everything is looking pretty well. So I can move around. Remember, I'm doing this complete wireless right now. So that's, so far so good. Everything's looking good. My hand tracking is looking great. Okay, so it's looking pretty well there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into FaceRig and let's set up the perception neuron portion of it. I'll hit connect. And then you can see, there I am. I'm being captured there with, the whole full body solution here with perception neuron. Let's make sure that I hit 0. Okay. All right, so everything's looking good so far. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, I'll place the camera on me. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to set up the camera so it's facing me, and at this point it's tracking my face, my whole body, my mouth movement, everything. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to calibrate the face. Okay, calibrate the head pose. Okay, so before I get started capturing, just, of course, check all the settings, disable on the ULC module, disable the head movement, disable the upper body movement. IP camera set up to the IP camera URL. I have front-facing mode. That's because I'm using the neck brace mount. Inside of perception neuron, enable head movement, the upper body movement, and I have the TCP set up. I have the local IP. I have the port number connected to 7001, and I also have other options. I can enable follow the character if I wanted to. I can show a grid as well if I wanted to. So everything is pretty well right now. So let's go ahead and let me zoom out from here so you guys can see me walking around here. So I'm gonna move around to the next camera here. Let's see. And since I can't see right now, I'm gonna ask my coworker here to see, make sure that everything's looking good. Everything's looking great. So you can see here that I'm fully tethered. I'm not connected to USB. I'm not operating from any dependent cable or anything like that. I'm strictly running from, run cam camera, my neck brace that I have on. I have perception neuron, fully wireless. The battery in the back here lasts about 4 to 5 hours. The battery in the run cam runs about 1 hour and a half and about 2 hours. So that's more than enough time to work with the system as well. So that's basically the whole setup there. I hope you guys saw enough. Let's go ahead to the other camera. All right. So this is me again, all live streaming right now. I'm hope you guys find this video very useful with setting up with FaceRig. This is very lightweight. As you can see, I set up everything on this video stream except the perception neuron. Perception neuron takes about 4 to 5 minutes to place on your body. Calibration typically takes about less than a minute, to be honest. So it's fairly easy to use, straightforward to do so. So if you have any questions about this and we don't catch them, please send us an email at contact@neuromocap.com so that we can follow up with you guys after the video. So it gets some used to right now. One of the greatest thing about FaceRig is that you can select different characters if you want. You can select, for example, one of our other favorite ones that we like to play around with is actually the bear. And with a click of a button, I can already have the bear working, doing the capturing for us. So right now it looks a little bit strange because I'm looking at the monitor, but you can see here that I'm doing the whole entire the whole capturing here with full body and face capturing if you want. So that's something that's very useful again. So let me go ahead and move around here so you guys can have a good look at how it looks like. So I have full movement, full validity of everything. I can move around. I can do a lot of things here with the system. So definitely something very helpful for everyone. So so thank you for watching, everyone out there. It was had questions about FaceRig and how to set it up. This is a quick tutorial on how to set up through USB and Wi-Fi for everyone out there. So I'm gonna open any questions to the live chat, and I'll go ahead and remove the hardware so I can talk to you guys. So let's say, for example, actually, let's do one more helpful thing here. So I'm going to put the camera again. If you want to record the data, simply just go into the record performance. It's recording as I'm doing so right now. Okay, so it's it's also capturing the face, if you will, and it's doing all that information real time. So just kind of doing anything. You can record movements, dance, plays, performance, whatever you will. So I'll go ahead and click on the record button one more time. It's going to ask me if I want to save this. I'll say live. Okay, save. And I can play that back if I want to. I can export that performance as well. When you export the performance, you have the option to export as a movie file, export as a GIF, or export animation. For those of you who want to use this data for Maya or for Blender or anything like that, you can use that for exporting, if you will. So in this case, I will go ahead and select for Maya. You have exports for Max, Maya, and Blender. You can select the animation file and then the replay or the output animation file, if you will. And then you can import that data into Maya, if you will, or Blender. We'll provide more information and the output of that. We'll actually give an example file so that everyone can play around with and can have a good understanding of what they can work with as far as the export goes. But today's video is just covering from beginning to end on how to set up Perception Neuron with FaceRig, both tethered and Wi-Fi as well. So let me go ahead and take this off one more time. Okay. So there I am. That's me. So I'll take any questions here with our users. Is there a way to customize the mouth? That is based on the blend shapes you create with your character. FaceRig provides instructions on how to set up your character so that you can import your character inside of FaceRig so you can drive the character with RSuit and the camera solution. The capturing is based on the blend shapes that you create for your character. So if you create really quick blend shapes and you're missing a lot of data or something like that, just keep in mind that the blend shapes must maintain some kind of good fidelity so you can have that good expression when you're capturing right now. Because FaceRig does capture the mouth movement, the jaw, the mouth, also the eyes and the eyebrows, which is the most important information out there. So that's something that's there as well. So next question. So the program itself is a performance capturing. It's not a 3D program per se. So you need to have some kind of, when you import your character or use the characters from inside there, the only information you get inside of the software is actually the character output rendering. And then once you're done recording or capturing, you can export that data into a 3D program. And what do you export? Well, you basically get the skeleton data and you get the face point data for any processing, post-processing, if you will. So our system is already available online on store. It's at a very affordable price. It's more or less around 1,700 and more or less. It includes the Perception Neuron. Let me go ahead and show you guys that slide so you guys can see. So it includes the intro bundle, which is the Perception Neuron 32 version 2 and FaceRig software. That's the kit and also the software license. All that for around more or less 1,700. And then the FaceRig camera kit, it's around $150, which it's $200. I'm sorry. It includes the camera and the neck brace for the full wireless solution. So let's see any other questions out there. So we're partnered with Relusion. This is the next question. Are we partnered with Relusion? Yes, we are partnered with Relusion. Relusion is a different solution from this. This, again, is for performance capture. Right now, at the moment, if everyone's following Relusion, please follow Relusion's newsletter. They come out with really awesome updates. They will be releasing updates this year that are helpful towards working with MOCAP data and face capturing data. So their solution is, IMU system like Perception Neuron recording and then recording the face capturing using FaceWare. That's a whole different solution. We will cover tutorials on that in the coming weeks for those who are also interested as well. I believe that it's one of those features that our 3D animators and those who do those quick animations, previs, can also benefit from that for creating scenes and stuff like that. So again, FaceRig Perception Neuron is a performance capture geared towards for export for Skype, Google Hangouts, for YouTube. You guys can record that data. You can output that through a large display if you want, and you can export that data as well. Later on during the year, we'll talk more about the other solution as well with Relusion and their face capturing solution workflow. So yes, we'll talk more about that throughout the year. So the next question here. So does it understand eyelids? Yes, it does. It does read eyelids. So you can see here, let me switch over to my options here. Well, I can do it here so you guys can see. Let me zoom in so you can see closer. And let me put the camera here. So it does do eyelids, and also does capturing for blinks. So it's hard to focus on the camera because I want to see what my face capturing looks like inside of the software. But it's definitely it's kind of pretty cool thing to look at. So it does do eyelids, if that's a question. Next question is, just looking through the questions here, I'm just waiting to see if anybody else comes up with questions here. So the question is FaceWare better than FaceRig? Well, the ultimate question is, everyone has preference of workflow. FaceRig has introduced this workflow so that you can use this as performance capture again, and you can export this data for a 3D software. What I love about FaceRig is that it's very straightforward. It works well in low lighting, which is very important. We've worked pretty well with in events where there might be a very dark area. If some cameras might not be able to capture very well, and then sometimes the face capturing system does not. Personally, I think FaceRig does very well with the low lighting capturing, so you can do that capturing if you want much easier, much faster. So I guess no more questions out here. Any plans for real-time? One more question here. Any plans for real-time capturing for VR? So on our website, we do have plugins for Unity and Unreal. So if you're developing a program or a game for that matter, then that would like to have use of our Perception Neuron solution, you can go ahead and do that and use that. Right now for face capturing, it's not currently available for that solution. You would have to use another solution for SDK like FaceWare or something like that to map the body by itself and then the face by itself. So it is that option as well. So. All right, so I think that's all the questions I'll take for today. If we missed out any questions, email us at contact@neuronmocap.com. And then make sure to follow us on all our social media feeds so that you're up to date with every news updates that we have available, including our software. Make sure all your hardware is up to date, all the software is up to date. And just follow us up for upcoming videos. We're going to be streaming more videos, quick tutorials like this for all of our users. Again, I want to thank everyone out there and really appreciate all the questions, all the feedback that we're getting. Let's go ahead and sign off with this little bear here. Or let's go ahead and sign off with our FaceRig, the FaceRig mascot here. This FaceRig mascot is available online. It's already available by default with all the characters there, and you get the, let's make sure, here we go. So everyone gets this copy of this bear as well, so you can test out the capturing for him. So thank you again, everyone, and look forward to hearing more of your projects and your developments. And until next time, everyone, thank you. Bye.